Good morning everyone. So today we are going to discussing date time functions and these date time functions we are going to apply on date or else date time columns in a table, or else we can check it out, right? So we have the date values in the tables, and how do we display that date values? So based on the date values we can get the data, right? So now we are going to see what are the available date time functions. So how can we apply these functions on the date and date time type of columns or type of variables? Okay, we are going to see that one, guys. So let me open the file here, date time functions file, and we'll check it out, each and every date time function, how these functions will behave. So let me go through the list of the functions what are available in the date time functions. Guys, it is going to take some time. Just give me a minute, guys. It will take some time. Yeah. See now here, guys, these are the date time functions. So first we are able to see that get date function, okay. And I can see that again date yard function, date diff function, date part function, year, month, and day. So this is all the different functions. These are all the different functions, and we are going to apply on the date or date time type of columns. So now let's see this get date function. It will return the current date and the time of the server system. That means when whichever the system we have installed this SQL server, in that system what is the date and the time, that date and time will be returned by this get date function. So now let's select here. I'm going to, how do we see the data from this get date function? So if we execute that select space get date function, it will return the value. You see that this is what the current date, today date and the current value. Today date is July 31st 2021, 6/9 is the time. So this is what, guys, get date function. Next we have date add function. So by using this date add function, we can add a number of days, or else number of months, or else number of years to an existing date value. Let's assume, guys, we have here one variable. In this variable we have one date, 2000 January 31st. So to this date I want to add 2 days, or else I want to add 20 days, or else I want to add 30 days, or else I want to add 60 days, some number of days, or else I want to add some number of months. Let's say I want to add 10 months, or else I want to add 2 months, or else I want to add 20 months, something like that, or else I want to add some number of years to this date. This is what the date, January 31st. So how do we add it? So that's where we are having date add function. By using this date add function, first I need to specify what we are adding. DD represents days. This DD represents I am adding days. How many days? 2 days. To which value? My date one variable. What date is there? To this date I am adding 2 days, and finally this date add will return the day after adding 2 days. So let's see this one now here. So it is going to return February 2nd. So now that means this is a select function, this is select statement. This date add function is returning a date value by adding 2 days to this in this variable, whatever date is there, to that date it is added 2 days. For suppose if I add months, then we need to use this word mm keyword. Mm represents months. How many months? 10 months. We are adding 10 months to this date value, whatever is there inside this variable. So in the similar way I am going to add years. How many years? 2 years. YY represents years. I am adding 2 years to this date value. Let's execute all these 3 statements. Now we can see that, you see that now here after adding 2 days, this is what the date it is came. After adding 10 days, this is what the date it is came. After adding 2 years, this is what the date it is coming. If I want to add hours, so now for this date, as date and time value is there, to that value I want to add some hours, then we are going to specify HH, and we are going to specify MI to add some minutes, and we are going to specify SS to add some seconds. So let's see here, this is my date of birth, and the date time. I'm going to store on a date with the time value inside this date of birth variable. You see that this is my value. So it represents January 30, 2005, 15:50 means afternoon 3 o'clock. Afternoon 3 o'clock, 3:50. So this is the time. To this time I am adding, how many days I am adding? 198 days to my DOB. And a similar way I am adding 126 months. And a similar way I am adding 84 years. And I am adding how many hours? 1982 hours I am adding to this DOB value. See, if we add these many number of hours, it will change that date. Definitely, right? It will change the date, month also. Okay, let's see that now. What values it is going to produce after adding these many number of days, 198 days to my DOB value, whatever is there here. It is showing up same year 2005, August 16th. So we are added 198 days. After added 126 months, it is showing 2015 730. After adding 84 years, it is showing 2089. After adding this many number of hours, HH represents hours, 1982 hours, it is showing same year 2005, 4th month, 23rd. And 550, 45, 676. 676 is the milliseconds. So like this we can add some number of days, number of months, number of years, number of hours, number of minutes, number of seconds to a date value, to one date time value. So now I want add 12,110 hours to the today date. How did we add to the today date? So how did we get the today date? By using the get date function, we can get the today date. For suppose there is a one date and a time value. If you want to add these hours to this date and time value, we can directly add, we can directly specify the date and time. But I want to see the current date. Right now, what is the date in your system? In that server system, that means wherever that SQL server is installed in that system, what is the current date and time? So that take that current date and time, to that current date and time add these many number of hours. So that's what they here. So let's execute these two. Now we can see that here. So current date is 2021 July 31st 6:15 AM. So for this date and time we are adding 12,110 hours. After adding these many number of hours, we are able to see 2022 12th month 17th day, evening 8 o'clock 15 minutes 21 seconds 8:27. Okay, so this is what it is displaying after adding these many number of hours. Okay. So this is what guys get date function and the date add function. Get date function is simply returning the current date and time. Date add function, we are adding the number of days, months, years to one existing date or date time values. Okay guys, so now we are moving on to understanding something more about these date functions, and we'll do some more practice as well on these date functions. So next we have date diff. Date diff means it is going to show the difference between 2 days. Difference between 2 dates. Let's say this is one date and this is another date. I want to see how many days difference is there between these 2 dates. Let's say guys, there are 2 people are there and those 2 people are born on 2 different dates. I want to see how many days difference is there between those 2 date of births. How many months difference is there between those 2 date of births. How many years difference is there between those 2 date of births. So I would like to see that one. And here date diff function will return the difference between 2 dates in terms of how many days, how many months and how many years difference is there between these 2 dates. Let's see here, I'm going to take 2 variables, start date, end date. Start date I have 2000 January 31st. In end date I have 2018 April 25th. That is what I have in a end date variable. Let's see between these 2 dates how many days difference is there. So this is what date diff function. It is going to represent days. DD means days. So the difference between these 2 dates in terms of number of days, how many number of days difference is there. Let's execute only this point guys. and check it out, it is going to return an integer, that is what the number of days. So now I given this alias name guys, define days. This is what just alias name, define days. So it is saying that the difference between these two dates, this many number of days, 6,659 days. And similar way, I want to see the months, how many months difference is there between these two dates. Let's count this one. So I think I don't want you to count guys, 1 2 3 something like that. You can, we have the function, we can simply use this function. It will give, it is giving now 2019 months difference is there. Similar way we can see the date diff in terms of years, number of years difference between these two dates. So let's see this now. Let's execute. Now we can see that total 18 years difference is there between these two dates. 18 years difference is there. So this is what guys, and now we are going to see date add function. Date add. So now here this is my date of birth and this is what the date, and the date add, we are adding day, how many days, 110 days at the rate myDOB to the variable at the rate myDOB. We are adding these many number of days to the variable at the rate myDOB. Okay, so now if I execute this one guys, let's see what it is going to give. So now it is giving 2000 April 19. So now this is what the date add. So now we already seen this date add, okay, just now. So now here I am going to ask, write a query to add 90 days to the today days. How did we add 90 days to the today date? Just date add function. What you are adding, days, how many days, 90, to which date, today date. So whenever we say current date or today date, we can use get date function. So the get date function will return current date and time. So for current date and time, if we add 90 days, this is what it is giving, 2021 10th month and the 29th. So let's connect to our database guys here. So now I'm connecting to our database Crystal Spiders 0602, and here in this database I'm going to show that the employees who resigned. Now let's see here guys. So now this is what the SQL query, select star from emp underscore resigned. Let's see, there are the people, okay, 2020. Okay, I need to change this date of resignations guys. Okay, so let me change that date of resignation. Let's say this guy, he is resigned. Okay guys, so let me change these people. So he is resigned, let's say 5th month, not 5th month guys, 6th month, let's say 6th month 5th. Okay, say 5th month 5. He's resigned on May 5th. May 5th, and he has to serve notice period 90 days. That means after resign, he has to still there with the company 90 days. That's what the notice period. So let's say 90 days means for this date, what is his last working day? If he resigned on 2021 May 5th, that means June 5th, July 5th, August 5th. August 5th will be his last working day. And let's say he is resigned on 6th. So now I am going to update these two records guys, because we are going to see this behavior of these date functions by using this data. I am going to check it out. Okay, let's see here. I have these EMP resignations. So let's say there are 4 employees I have in my table, EMP resign table, and these 4 employees are resigned so and so dates. These dates they resign, and this is what their notice period. And one guy, one employee ID 1 is already resigned on 5th of May, and another guy he resigned on 10th of June, and another guy, these 2 people are resigned last year guys, so 2020. So we don't bother about it. I think these already left the company because their notice period also should be done. Okay, this is fine. Sir, now here you see, how did you get guys? So now you tell me how many days back he resigned. So he resigned on a 5/5 and today is 7/31. How many days back? So how do we get that? How do we write that query? How many days back means? So we know that today date is 2021 July 31st, and this is what 2021 May 5th. Let's count how many days back he resigned. And now I am going to write SQL query. What I am going to do that I will see the difference between today date and this is the date of resignation. Then I will get how many days back he resigned. Right. So now here write a query to see the number of days back they resigned. So we have to identify the number of days difference between date of resignation and the today date. DOR means date of resignation. DOR column means date of resignation and the today date. How did we see that it is a difference, guys? Here, see that I am going to read the data from the table, and here I am going to define date diff between number of days between date of resignation and the get date. Difference between two dates. How many days difference is there? So this is going to give the difference between two dates, date of resignation and the today date. So as the number of days back he resigned. Let's execute this one. It will show that same thing. See now the number of days back they resigned. Let's see here, this guy is resigned on the 87 days back and he has to serve 90 days. That means he is going to relieve in the next few days, next 3 days. 87 days back. And the next 3, if he stay with the company in the next 3 days, he is going to release from the company. So now, so similarly, he resigned on 51 days back. Still he has to serve how many days, guys? 90 minus 51. It says that 39 days. Still he has to serve 39 days. After 39 days, he is going to release from the company. And these guys already resigned 364 days back, means almost close to one year, right? Yeah, this guy is also close to 1 year. Okay, not exactly 1 year, but close to so long back they resigned. So I think these guys already served notice period. They are no more with the company, so we don't worry about these two people. So these are the two people. Okay, this is fine. So now here write a query to see the last working day of the employee. When he is going to release, guys? How do you get it? When he is going to release? For suppose, let's assume this is the employee. He resigned on 5th of May. So 90 days he has to serve. Then what will be his last working day? How did you get his last working day? You need to add these 90 days to this date. Then we will get the last working day. Right? So we are going to add 90 days by using that date add function. We are going to add these 90 days to these dates. So whatever the notice period days are there, add those 90 days to these dates. Then we will get the last working day. You see that now we are adding date add function. We are adding the days, number of days, whatever that NP days column values are there, we are adding these values to DOR column values. Okay, and what is this NP days? NP days represents days. That is these values are days, not months, not years. These are 19 represents days. So we are adding that days to DOR column. So let's execute this one. If I execute this one, it is going to produce the same thing. You see that now? Now I got that LWD. LWD means last working day. This is the last working day. Okay. So this is very simple, guys, to get this type of data. I mean, see that, observe, guys, how these functions are helping to manipulate the data. Right? That means we can get the data however we want, right? By using these date functions. Okay. So this is what, guys, and write a query to see the number of days still there to serve as a notice period. How many days are there to serve as a notice period still? We know the date of resignation, guys, and the number of days we know that, and his last working day we know that. So let's take this last working day. We know his last working day, and how many days are there from today date to this last working day? We are going to see date diff between today date and last working day. How many days difference is there? Very simple. So now here get the last working day and then do date diff between today date and the LWD. Guys, you can use any logic here, or else what you can do, you can take a number of days notice period, okay, and how many days remaining, how many days are there remaining. So you do one thing, we have the different ways, guys, to perform this. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to get all the time in the same process. You can use however you feel better. You can use that date time functions to get the proper values. Okay, so now see here, we are going to get the last working day. So now here, guys, let me write down this part again. So now here, what we are going to get the last working day, and then do the date diff between today date and the last working day. So now here I am going to write date diff between today date and we are able to get the last working day, guys. Here we are able to get the last working day by using this date here to the number of days to the date of resignation, DOR. Then we will get the last working day. So I am going to see the date diff. I am going to see the date diff in terms of days. How many days difference is there from today date? How did you get the today date? Get date function. And the last working day, how did you get the last working day? How we got the last working day? By using this function. So let's copy this whole stuff here, copy this whole stuff, this one, guys, this part, and put it here. So this one will give the last working day for each record, and that last working day and get date. What is the date difference between get date and last working day in terms of days? That's what it is going to return. So let's execute. So now here you see that this guy is going to release in the next 3 days. He will be there with the company next 3 days, and this guy is going to release in 39 days. And these people already released 274 days back. That's why it is showing a negative. Negative represents is all they are already released. Or else we can see that this is another way of displaying the same thing. What we are doing here, yes, this is see now, number of days back they resigned. Let's find out how many days back they resigned, and then so now here, guys, number of days 90 minus and the days difference between date of resignation and today days. So number of days. So now here, guys, this is also same thing. This is also giving the, let me execute these two queries. See that this is also giving a number of days needs to serve. So what we are doing here, guys, how many days back they resign, we are getting that value, and what we are doing, 90 minus 87, 90 minus 51, same values are coming up. So we can use any of these queries, guys. Okay, either this one or else either this logic. Either we can use this logic or else this logic. Both will represent how many days are there to serve as a notice period. Still how many days are there. Okay. So this is fine, guys. So this is what date functions, and we have so many other functions also there. We are going to see this one. So let's see here, write a query to display the employees who are currently serving notice period. So that means, so now this is what, guys, what is this? This is number of days needs to serve. So if I execute this one, it will show that the employees with their notice period, how many days are there, still how many days are there in the notice period. So these two people already released because they already resigned long back and they are no more with the companies, and these two people are still serving the notice period. So how did you get only these two people? So what I can do, so whatever this is a function, whatever this is what column expression, guys, we are going to call this is a expression, and this expression is returning these values. And what I am going to do that, I am going to use this whole expression in the where clause, and I am going to apply the condition saying that where whichever the records number of days, whichever the records, this logic is greater than 0. Whichever the records, these records, so greater than or equal to 0. Equal to 0 means they are going to release today. So greater than or equal to 0 means they are going to, so this is going to give all the employees who are going to release from the company. I mean they are still serving the notice period. Equal to 0 means they are going to release today. See that only two people it is showing up. That means these two people are still serving the notice period. Remaining all other people already left the company. Okay. So 0 represents, in case if this difference is showing a 0, that means they are going to release from the company today. So this is what, guys. And now here similar way I want to see that write a query to display the employees who are currently serving notice period, and also I don't want all the people who are serving notice period. I don't want to see all the people who are already serving the notice period. I don't want them. but only the people I am interested in who is going to release in the next 7 days. Let's see here, these are the 2 people already resigned and they are serving the notice period, and still the first guy has to serve 3 more days and the second guy has to serve 39 days, and I am not interested in this guy because he is having so many days. But this guy is going to release in the next 7 days. That means in the next 3 days he is releasing. So I am going to prepare the documents for this guy. That's why. So in most of the time, guys, our people will looking for the people who are going to celebrate their birthday in the next 7 days, because I am going to order some gifts for that guy. Or else who is going to release in the next 7 days. Which products are going to deliver in the next 7 days, or else next 10 days, next in the future dates, whose date is falling in the future dates. Let's say order date, which products you want to order in the next 7 days, or else which products are going to deliver in the next 7 days. Okay, something like that, right? So next represents in the future dates. So next 7 days I want to see who is going to release from the company. So for that, so same query, guys, this is same query, this is the same condition, but here what I am doing, instead of saying greater than or equal to 0, I said between 0 and 7. That's it. So now it's the same query, guys, same query I just mentioned, between 1 and 7. Same query, everything is the same, but only thing is I just mentioned between 1 and 7 because they are going to release from the company next 7 days. So this guy is going to release from the company next 7 days. Okay, this is going to give the number of days are there still in the notice period. If that number of days between 1 and 7, then show me those employees. Okay. So this is what, guys, and we have this sales table, and let's see this sales table as well, guys, today, and we can practice this sales table as well. So I have here one table called sales table, guys, and I am going to add this column delivery date to my sales table. Let me add that. Okay, and I am going to update some of these dates. Let me put this date instead of 4. I am going to put this one is 8th month, okay, and 02, and this one is 8th month 01. This is the 7th month 30, and this is I am going to set 8th month 10th 8/10. So I am just updating some of these values, guys. The del date means delivery date. These are the sales are there. Sales table, we have some products, okay, and in that, let's see that sales table now. Let's see that what is that data is there here. We have these product IDs and their price and the income, what income you got from each product, and the sales and transaction date and the delivery date, and which day those products are delivered. That's what del date, and which day those products are delivered, guys. Okay, so and so dates. And these are the dates the products are going to deliver. August 2nd and August 1st. You see that some of the products are showing up future dates. That means those products are going to deliver on these dates. And you see that couple of products are already delivered yesterday. 7:30 means that is yesterday only, right? Yeah. So now here write a query to see that which products will be delivering on tomorrow. Today is 7:31. Tomorrow means what is that tomorrow date? Tomorrow is August 1st, 2021. So which products are going to deliver tomorrow? So there is 3 products are there. Okay. So let's see that how did you get this query. So how did you do this now? Let's take that date diff between today date and the delivery date. If the date diff between today date and delivery date is 1, then those are going to deliver on see that, guys, do the date diff between today date and the del date. If the difference is 1, those are going to deliver on tomorrow. If the difference is 0, those products are going to deliver today only. Okay, so that's what here, guys. You see that we are using date diff and all. So this is what we are going to get the data from the sales table. In that sales table, we can see that date diff between date difference between today date, this is today date, and the delivery date. If the difference is equal to 1, then take those records. So now we can check it out. This one, it is going to show that these are the 3 products are going to deliver today. Their delivery date is August 1st. That is what, not today, tomorrow, because difference is in 1. The difference in the date, in the today date and the delivery date is 1. That means those are going to deliver tomorrow. Okay guys, so now here number of days to deliver, if that difference is equal to 0, these are going to deliver today, but there are no products to delivering today, because no products, their delivery date is equal to today date, so it is not going to show any products which are going to deliver today. Okay guys, so now here write a query to see the products which deliver in the next 5 days. So instead of this equal, instead of this 1 and 0, we can put a 5. That's it. It will give the next 5 days, or else less than or equal to 5. Less than or equal to 5 means it will represent in the next 5 days which products are going to deliver. Next products, or else you can say that between 1 and 5, or else less than 5. Less than 5 means the products which were delivered yesterday, day before yesterday, those products also will show that. Less than 5 means. So you can specify here, I am going to declare one variable days, and I am going to use this value 5. So let's say that take the data from sales table, where whose date difference between number of days, date difference in the number of days between today date and the delivery date. That number of days difference between 0 and days, what value is there? 5 is there. Then these products are going to deliver from today to next 5 days. See that? So this is what guys, you have to take this column, not transaction date column, you have to take delivery date column. So these products are going to deliver tomorrow, and these products are going to deliver day after tomorrow. So now here date part, we have another function guys. So far we have seen that date diff, date add and get date function. 3 functions we have practiced so far. What are those 3 functions? Get date function, date diff function and the date add functions. Those 3 together we have seen some practice, and now we have another function, date part function. So this date part function will extract, it helps to display the specific details from your date value. For suppose this is the date value, from this date value I want to see what is the year 1960, what is the month 01, what is the day 31, what is our 19, what is the month, what is the minutes 15, what is the second 25. See that from this date value we can extract whichever part we want. Let's say here by using this date part, so I want to see what day it is. In this date what day it is? 31st. In this date what month it is? 01. In that date what is the year it is? 1960, and this will display that 1960, and the same way what is our 19. So like this it is going to display that the specific details from this date value. You see that. In a similar way we have 3 separate functions are there to display the date and month and year. Let's execute this date, month and year. It will also, okay, I have to include this variable declaration. You see that this day function is returning what day it is. In this date my DOB1 variable, we have one date time value. In that date time value what day it is? 31st. In that date time value what month it is? 01. Just 1. Okay, it is omitted 0, just 1. And year function will return what year it is. Inside this variable we have one value. In that value what year it is? 1960. So now here these 3 functions are similar to date part with DD, date part with date part with YY. Same, similar. So that's why you see that these 3 functions are showing up same values like this. So now here guys we are going to do some practice with this month functions and all. So write a query to display the employees who born in the month of November. So not employees, persons. Here I have to say persons. So now we have the person table guys. In that person table we have the month date of birth column. You see that now? This is the date of birth column. And every person is having the date of birth, but I want to see who born in the month of November. It doesn't matter year and day. So here what we can do, month of DOB, whose month of DOB is equal to 11. So take only those people, and then it will display only the people who born in the month of 11. That means November month. You see that there is 1750 records are there. All these people are born in the month of November. So this is what guys. So we have these functions in the similar way. we can practice more and more about these date type functions. Okay guys, and this is what date type functions, and the next session we will see more and more about this practice of these date type functions. Please keep on do this practice guys, and we will see that more and more practice on the date type functions in the next session, that is on tomorrow. Okay guys, see you on tomorrow at the same time. Bye.